So, why am I here? I could see you are all asking these questions towards me because I'm the youngest person who is sitting in front of you on this stage. Actually, a few days before, what I was thinking is when I was asked to share my few words to this audience in this amazing event, I actually had a self-doubt whether it's possible or I'm capable of doing this in front of these intellectuals. So I had a fear within myself whether it's really possible. But then, when the days passed, I started collecting data about Rajaratnam sir, and I was going through his amazing masterpiece, The Uneven Justice. So then I decided if not me, then who are gonna deliver this? Because the younger generations, as the people of the upcoming society, it is our duty to impose this beautiful creation in front of you all. So I decided then that I am appropriate to deliver the speech in front of you. But still, I surrender that my speech is not going to be as knowledgeable as the great speakers who did before me, because I'm still young, and what I'm going to do today is just a transfer of feelings that personally I felt when I was going through this book and reading about himself. So Rajaratnam sir has become one of my inspirations, so I just don't want to call him the author of this book, but an inspiration to myself. A very good evening, audience. So what I'm going to do today is a few minutes of sharing of my feelings, what I had within myself as a youngster in this society. So this is a simple story of mine. I'm really thrilled and honored to be in front of you guys today in this beautiful event of launching the Tamil version of The Uneven Justice, a greater masterpiece I have ever read. So, in this book, I'm honored to share some things. That is, this book, The Uneven Justice, the title itself is really powerful. It's an amazingly powerful statement that states that which is relatable to our society, even to our society. Though it is relating the political sides of America, we could relate this to our society and to the whole universe, because this is what the uneven justice is, what is happening all over the world to those who are less fortunate and poor, or sometimes the innocent. So in this way, this literature, why it made me happy is because it doesn't shy away to deliver the uncomfortable truths that has been hidden by the United States of America and all those related people in this country. So what strikes me the most when I was going through each and every page of Rajaratnam sir's book was the authenticity he has conveyed through his book in every page of him. But before diving deep into this book, I just want to convey my feelings as a youngster. So I would like to take a moment to appreciate Sir for his greater achievements before all this tragedy, that he had been one of the billionaires in the United States of America and of course in the world too. So in this world, as one of the billionaires who had born in our country, is a pride as a youngster and of course as a Sri Lankan. So life is like a photography. We use the negatives to develop the films, right? So I think that's what happened in his life. So it was not just a negative or a black mark on his life, but it was just a polishing up of himself. So that's why we are here and speaking about him and his books too. So if that tragedy didn't happen, we may not know how Rajaratnam sir was when he was in these younger stages, and how he developed his life as an entrepreneur and how he achieved everything in his life. So I take it as an opportunity for him to express himself to this world too. He stood out with confidence even after so many struggles, where most of us most of us give up because we guys don't have the confidence to stay in front of others even though the whole world is against us. We are not ready to take the courage and to perform to take the courage and to stand in front of the world and confront the uncomfortable truths that are being stated by the dominant people around us. But we as youngsters are very much happy to see that there is someone in real life hero who could deliver that to ourselves through his words and through his life too. So another word that I love in my life and I would like to follow is that don't die before death. So you might be thinking, how could we die before our death? Yes, we can. At the moment when we're losing our stand to stand for our rights and to stand for our dreams, we fail as an individual, and that is the moment we all die. But here, our Rajaratnam sir has won not only as an entrepreneur, but as a person who stands for his rights too. So I'm really proud of him and also happy to share a few words in front of him. And actually, I'm really proud to sit by his side today. I'm very sure that this book, The Uneven Justice, will find its way in the hearts and minds of the readers, and through that, the sparking conversations will resonate beyond the pages of the book. And thank you for being connected with me for the last few minutes to listen to the words of this small girl. And I'm done. Thank you.
இளைய சமுதாயம் சாதிக்க துடிக்கின்ற சமுதாயமாக இருக்கின்ற அவர்களுக்கு இந்த நூலும் உங்களது வாழ்க்கையும் ஒரு பாடமாக ஒரு ஊக்கப்படுத்துவதாக இருக்கும் என்ற வகையிலே கூறி சென்ற நிவேதனா முருகானந்தனுக்கு நன்றியை தெரிவித்துக் கொண்டு மிக முக்கியமான கட்டத்துக்கு வந்திருக்கின்றோம். ஏற்புரை. இந்த நூலினை ஆக்கி தந்த திரு ராஜரட்னம் அவர்கள் தனது ஏற்புரையினை இப்பொழுது வழங்குவார். அவரை அன்போடு உங்கள் சார்பாக அழைத்து நிற்கின்றேன்.
Good evening, friends. I know it's been a long afternoon for all of you, so I'll try to be brief. And I thought I'll do something different, which is open it up to you for questions. But before that, I want to thank a few people, especially Bishop Javanese. Thank you for your help in translating the book. Mr. Padmanathan, I think, who had to leave a little earlier. And most of all, I want to thank Navendra for an amazingly inspiring speech. You are the future of Tamils, and the confidence with which you spoke is just amazing. Thank you. And not last of all, Dr. Satyamurthy, who is one of my heroes, for the tireless work he's done in the northern province. Now let me make one thing clear. For over 60 years, uneven justice has been practiced on the Tamil people in Sri Lanka. So you have experienced a scale of uneven justice that I can't even begin to. Vibrant, independent economy, and the best is yet to come. So I applaud all of you who stayed here, and all of this, it came back, like Bhaskaran and Justin Kumar, to contribute to this country. Now, there's been a lot written about, a lot said about uneven justice, but I thought I'll take a few minutes to talk about the lessons I have learned in my life. You know, in Tamil, there's a poem or a verse, Annayum Pidavum Munnari Devam. Your father and your mother are your gods, or in front of gods in this world. And I was fortunate to win the lottery to get the mother and the father I did. The first thing my father taught me was, if you're right, you fight. Don't take a step back. And I watched him, a little boy from Albai, who who was the first from Alvai to go to university and then climbed the corporate ladder to the very highest ladder here in Sri Lanka and all of Asia. I watched him and one day he told me, son, I said, you're lucky. He said, no. The harder I work, the luckier I get. So there's no substitute for hard work. Right? I sometimes get sad that when people say, oh, the young people don't work as hard as we used to. And if you don't work hard, you're not going to achieve anything. So that's one. Number two, learn from failure. You learn more from failure than you do from success. I fail every day. I can always make more money in the stock market than I actually did. I analyze, why didn't I make more money? And I learn from that every day, even today. So don't be afraid to fail. In Silicon Valley, less than 20% of the companies that are funded by venture capitalists actually make it and make money for the venture capitalists. Would also say, be entrepreneurial. Try to work for yourself, but before you do that, go and work for a company, learn everything you can, and then come up with an idea that you can build a company and treat your employees fairly, because it's those people who help you get to where you want to go to. When I was arrested in October 2009, of the 150 things I worried about, insider trading was not one of them. I was 100% sure that I was going to win. My lawyers were 100% sure we were going to win. But I had three options. One was to say, okay, I'm guilty, pay a fine, and walk away. The second one was, and I had the option, is to point fingers at somebody else and lie. It's called plea bargaining, and also help the government catch a few other people. The third option I had was to fight. I knew that if I fought, evidence showed that the sentence you got was at least 2 to 3 times what you would do if you didn't fight. But every core of my body, I could not plead for something I didn't do, and I was prepared to fight. Now, people who perpetrate injustice will always lose. If you look at Sri Lanka, for 60 years, since 1958, you can argue 56, they did not treat us properly. What happens to where is Sri Lanka today? They're bankrupt. They're asking diaspora like me to come and invest here. Preet Barara, who was my prosecutor, he was a junior prosecutor. Today, is out of a job. He was fired by the president. And didn't help me, but several years later, the courts ruled that the very basis in which he charged me was illegal. Okay? And he can't get a job. He's a mockery in the US justice system. Me, on the other hand, I'm teaching law to some of the most prestigious universities like Stanford Law School to the final year students about prosecutorial misconduct and lack of accountability. So there are 2 things certain in life, as they say in the US. One is taxes. I know many people don't pay taxes, but in the US you have to pay taxes. The other thing is karma. You can't get away from karma. And so the people inflicted 60 years of uneven justice here are facing their karma. Preet Bharara today is facing his karma. I sleep beautifully, asked my wife, without getting up, without any conscience, 8 to 10 hours a day. Now, I wrote this book in prison, and the reason I wrote it was many people asked me, you have to tell your story because we want to change the justice system. There's a 98% conviction rate in the United States for people who want to go to trial. No government organization is that. 98%. So you ask yourself why. The prosecutors are allowed to coach their cooperating witnesses. They're allowed to lie. If the defense lied in court, they could be disbarred. If our witnesses, the defense witnesses, misled the court, they could be charged with perjury. So it's not an even system, it's an uneven system. Okay? The reason I wrote this book is to not say I'm innocent, guilty, but to open people's eyes. If you don't take small steps to educate and open people's eyes. When I wrote this book, I had no thought of translating it in Tamil because the target was the US Justice Department. I had to fight the most powerful entity in the whole world, single-handedly. When I met Dr. Satyamurthy, after several times, he said, you should translate this into Tamil because it might help our youth, and it warms my heart that then I read it and possibly learned something. At least we've achieved with one person who might think about how to understand the injustice that's there in this world. Now for me, I have two passions today. One is to help the people of Tamil Nadu. I don't want to say Tamil because they'll shoot me somewhere, but Ceylon Tamils, so Jaffna Tamils. And the second thing is the stock market. The reason I love the stock market is every day is different. You have to come to work only with your wits. We don't have a product, we're not selling shoes, or we're not selling ads on TVs, or we're not selling fruit processors or bottled fruit. I walk to work with my hands in my pocket, trying to figure out how I'm going to make money for me and my team. That's an all-consuming passion, and helping the people of Airful, Northern Province, is my other passion. So I'm lucky to have two passions in life. With that, I would like to open it up for any question from you.
Thank you. Please. I want to know, you have been proven innocent, get back what you lost. Have they apologized to you?
Well, the US government doesn't apologize. They don't apologize to the people in Gaza for killing 20,000 people, right? They say stop the war, but I don't expect an apology. That's not important. What I've learned from it is live life fearlessly, stand strong, don't back down. We're all going to have setbacks, but we will learn from it and come back stronger. And I feel at this point in my life, as my sister once told me that somebody had told her, if you don't have aspirations and you don't have too much ambitions, you're a dangerous man because you can speak your mind. And so I feel I'm in the sweet spot of my life. got a wonderful wife, good kids, nice friends. And, I don't expect to be compensated for my time or my money, and I still have this. They can't jail this, right? Yes, sir.
Mr. Rajaratnam sharing your experience with us. 2009 happened to be a bad year for you as well as our Tamil community. We have won the battle, so hope we will also win somehow. And my question is, where do you see in Sri Lanka in next 5 years?
Sri Lanka or?
Where do you see Sri Lanka will be in next 5 years time with this economic collapse and crisis?
I think it's in the hands of the Sri Lankan people. There's an election coming in September, and for the first time in the last 3 or 4 years, the Sinhala people experienced starvation and famine. They couldn't get milk for their people. They couldn't get fuel to take their goods to the market. Many people had only one meal. This never happened in 75 years since the independence. So they're not going to vote for somebody who 2 days before the election gives them a buck package, which is a rice package and a bottle of arak. They will remember that what got this country into difficulty was unparalleled corruption. Right? So those people who are perceived to be corrupt, I don't think will win. And if the winners of the election have an inclusive policy, and here's the math, there are 14 million voters in Sri Lanka. 4.2 to 4.4 are minorities, and make you plead guilty in the first 24, 48 hours. And I think they thought that me being a first generation immigrant, I would be scared and, beg for mercy and plead guilty and take the easy way out. I don't think they did. I don't think they thought that I would go to trial, because they didn't come to my office and take even one document, which is unusual, right? Plus, I was flying to England in the evening, and then they put the narrative that I was fleeing the country, and they had to catch me. My father, my mother, my 3 children, and my wife all lived with me in New York. If I was fleeing, would I flee by myself? But they tried to demonize you in the press. And then they tried to make you seem unusually wealthy. So in front of my name, they would always say billionaire Raj Rajaratnam, because people don't like rich people. You know what I'm saying? So they create this aura that somehow you stole money. Media is a very powerful tool of the state government everywhere in the world. Other questions?
Yes. When you were in the prison, you wrote this book. How was you treated in the prison? Were there opportunities and facilities, support by the US prison officers for you?
It's not like prison in US. We're allowed to have an iPod to listen to music. Food was decent but not great. We were allowed visitors all day on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I had visitors 3 days from morning till evening. So you didn't feel like you were in prison for 7 days. It was 4 days of the week. And it's also how you conduct yourself. Like on the first week or 2, some of the guys come and try to test you out to see whether they can extort money from you, ask your family to send them family money. And if you're perceived to be soft, they'll keep on extorting to you. So about 10 or 15 days I was there. A guy came up to me and said, you know, you have some money, I don't have any money, I want you to ask your family to send my family money on a regular basis. If not, I'm going to beat you up. Right? And he was bigger than me and stronger than me, but I was not going to give in to his extortion, because if you do it once, then word will get out. This guy's soft, you can extort. So I was sitting in a chair like that. I took the chair and I said, if you don't leave out my room, I used a few bad words which are not appropriate here. But I said, if you don't leave my room right now, I'm going to crack your head. And to my good luck, he walked away. And after that, word got out that, you know, Raj is not soft. And so they went and extorted from the guy next door who was more timid. So your stress came from other inmates rather than from the prison guards.
What type of stress got from other inmates?
In the sense that, you know, many of them don't have any money. Many of them,
Most of them Africans, Mexicans.
all sorts.
இன்றைய காலகட்டத்தில் நீங்கள் சமீப காலமாக நீண்ட நாட்களாக இலங்கைக்கு வந்து போறீங்க. உங்களை நிறைய பேர் வந்து சந்திக்கிறோம், நிறைய பேர் சந்திப்பிற வாய்ப்பு இருக்கு. குறிப்பாக எங்களுடைய தமிழ் அரசியல்வாதிகளை பற்றி உங்களுடைய கருத்து. இன்று இருக்கக்கூடிய இந்த அரசியல் எங்களுக்கு எதிர்காலத்துக்கான எங்களுடைய விடுதலை பெற்று தருமா? இவர்கள் மீது நாங்கள் நம்பிக்கை கொள்ள முடியுமா? இந்த அரசியல் கட்டமைப்பு எப்படி மாற்றி அமைக்கப்பட வேண்டும்?
I don't know enough. Thank you very much.